Every house has its secrets, but none quite like the sinister history hidden within the walls of the old Victorian mansion at the end of Hawthorne Lane. It had stood abandoned for decades, a decaying symbol of a dark past that seemed to breathe terror into anyone who dared step foot inside. When the Marshalls moved in, they had no idea what awaited them. Lily, the youngest of the two Marshall children, was an adventurous and curious 8-year-old. As the family unpacked their belongings, Lily couldn't help but explore every corner of the mansion. She'd heard stories of the place from the other children in town, whispers of ghostly apparitions and strange happenings. While her older brother, Ben, scoffed at the tales, Lily was drawn to them. One afternoon, while rummaging through a dusty closet in the attic, Lily discovered a hidden door. It was concealed behind an old armoire, with a tarnished brass knob almost invisible among the cobwebs. Trembling with excitement, she twisted the knob and stepped into the forgotten room. The room was small and windowless, with a single flickering candle casting eerie shadows on the peeling wallpaper. Dust and cobwebs covered the few pieces of furniture, including a rickety wooden chair and a small, locked chest. As Lily approached the chest, she felt a sudden chill in the air. The hair on the back of her neck stood up, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Ignoring the sense of dread that crept over her, Lily picked up a rusty key she found on the floor and unlocked the chest. As she lifted the lid, a wave of cold air washed over her, and she found herself staring into the lifeless eyes of a porcelain doll. Its cracked face was painted with a twisted smile, and its once pristine lace dress was stained with dark red splotches. Before she could process the unnerving sight, the door slammed shut behind her, plunging the room into darkness. Lily's heart raced, and her breaths came in shallow gasps as she fumbled for the doorknob. She could feel a heavy, malevolent presence, and it was closing in on her. Just as the unseen force was about to strike, the door flew open, revealing a frightened Ben. He'd been searching for his sister when he heard her panicked cries. They both scrambled out of the room, slamming the door behind them. As they caught their breath, they made a silent pact to never speak of the room again. That night, as the Marshall family slept, a faint scratching sound echoed through the halls. The forgotten room, no longer content to be ignored, was eager to share its secrets. Lily's dreams were filled with images of the porcelain doll, its eyes following her every move, its smile promising unspeakable horrors. One by one, the family was tormented by the malevolent force from the forgotten room. Objects moved on their own, whispers echoed in the dead of night, and chilling visions plagued their dreams. They soon realized that they had awakened something ancient and evil, and it would not rest until it claimed them all. In the end, the Marshalls were forced to flee their once beloved home, leaving it to its ghastly secrets. The old Victorian mansion at the end of Hawthorne Lane stood abandoned once more, its forgotten room waiting patiently for the next curious soul to unlock its horrors. As the years went by, the old Victorian mansion remained untouched, standing as a menacing reminder of the horrors that the Marshalls had faced. The townspeople avoided it, whispering of the dark force that dwelled within. The house was eventually reclaimed by nature, as vines crept up its walls and ivy choked its once stately facade. One day, a young couple named Jack and Emily moved to town, seeking a fresh start after a series of misfortunes. They were intrigued by the whispers of the haunted mansion and, feeling undeterred by the chilling tales, decided to purchase the property at a meager price. As Jack and Emily lovingly restored the mansion, they remained blissfully unaware of the malevolent presence lurking within. But, as the house regained its former glory, the forgotten room's influence began to seep out once more, permeating the very air they breathed. Emily was the first to experience the supernatural occurrences. She started hearing faint whispers while working in the garden, only to find no one there. Jack, a man of reason, dismissed her concerns as the wind playing tricks on her. However, he couldn't deny the growing unease that had taken root within him. One evening, as Jack was repairing a broken step on the grand staircase, he stumbled upon a dusty journal hidden beneath a floorboard. The pages were filled with the frantic scrawlings of the mansion's original owner, detailing a harrowing account of the forgotten room and the porcelain doll that had terrorized his family. A cold shiver ran down Jack's spine as he read about the Marshalls' similar experiences. Determined to confront the source of their unease, Jack and Emily ventured into the attic, discovering the hidden door concealed behind the old armoire. With a heavy heart, Jack unlocked the door, and they stepped into the forgotten room. There, sitting on the rickety wooden chair, was the porcelain doll, its twisted smile seemingly wider than before. As they stared at the doll, the air in the room grew colder, and the candle flickered, casting menacing shadows on the walls. Jack and Emily realized they had to find a way to rid themselves of the doll and the evil it harbored. They sought the advice of an old, wise woman in town, known for her extensive knowledge of the supernatural. She told them of a ritual that could cleanse the doll of its malevolence and trap the dark force within a container. With the old woman's guidance, Jack and Emily performed the ritual, transferring the evil from the doll into a small iron box. The once menacing presence was now confined, and the doll's twisted smile seemed to soften. The couple buried the iron box in a remote location, far from the prying eyes of the curious, and returned to their lovingly restored mansion. The forgotten room was sealed, its dark history buried along with the iron box. As the years passed, the old Victorian mansion on Hawthorne Lane lost its sinister reputation. Jack and Emily lived out their days in peace, the horrors of the forgotten room and the porcelain doll a distant memory. However, deep in the woods, the iron box lay hidden, waiting for an unsuspecting soul to unearth it and unleash the darkness once more.